Picture this. A woman in her late 60s is standing in her kitchen halfway through an ordinary morning when suddenly her grip fails. A cup slips from her hand. She tries to speak, but the sounds that come out don't make sense. One side of her face no longer responds the way it should. She is having a stroke. But here's the part that changes everything. Before emergency responders were even close, she took one simple, unexpected action that an emergency physician later said likely spared her from lasting brain damage. No medication, no medical procedure. She adjusted her body and regulated her breathing in a very precise way. What she understood, and what most people never learn, is that the body has an internal emergency response that can protect brain circulation when time is slipping away. And in the next few minutes, you're going to learn exactly what she did. Because here's a reality most people never stop to think about. In the United States, a stroke happens roughly every 40 seconds. But what's rarely discussed is that the first few minutes, before help arrives, before a hospital is reached, often decide the outcome. Those early minutes can mean the difference between walking away or living with permanent impairment. I'm here to share information that could protect your life or the life of someone close to you. We're going to go over the earliest signals the body sends just before a stroke and, more importantly, a medically supported positioning and breathing approach that helps sustain blood flow to the brain while emergency care is on the way. This isn't speculation, it's grounded in modern clinical observation, and it's something you can understand and remember starting right now. By the end, you'll know what to do and why it makes a difference. Before explaining the technique, it's important to understand what's happening inside the brain during a stroke. Many people picture a stroke as instant collapse, immediate shutdown, but that's rarely how it unfolds. In many cases, it begins quietly, subtly. Think of the brain like a massive network powered by constant blood supply. Every thought, movement, and memory depends on oxygen moving through tiny vessels. When one of those pathways becomes restricted, even briefly, the area it feeds begins to struggle. Sometimes the flow resumes on its own. This is known as a transient ischemic event. It's often dismissed because symptoms fade quickly, but it's not minor. It's a warning, a signal that a more serious blockage may be imminent. The danger is that many older adults overlook these early signs. A momentary weakness, a stumble with no explanation, words that don't come out right for a few seconds. When the sensation passes, they assume it was nothing. Fatigue, dehydration, standing too fast. But these aren't random events. They're distress messages from the brain. A clot may be forming or moving, and once oxygen delivery drops, brain cells begin shutting down within minutes. Here's the crucial point. In the earliest stage, blood flow is often reduced, not completely cut off. That brief window is where the body can still compensate, and that's where the technique you're about to learn becomes critical. So what are the warning signs that should never be ignored? Sudden weakness or numbness affecting one side of the body, difficulty speaking or understanding speech, facial asymmetry, where one side droops or feels unresponsive, sudden vision changes in one or both eyes, unexpected dizziness or loss of coordination, or a severe headache that appears without warning. What surprises most people is that these symptoms can last less than a minute and then disappear. When they fade, people relax. They believe the danger has passed. In reality, that's when risk increases. The disappearance doesn't mean safety, it means instability. This leads to a critical issue. Many seniors hesitate to act even when something feels wrong. They were raised to endure discomfort quietly, to avoid drawing attention, to wait and see. So when symptoms appear briefly, they minimize them. They don't want to overreact. But with stroke, delay can be devastating. Waiting even a few extra minutes can be the difference between full recovery and permanent neurological loss. Part of the confusion comes from separating normal aging from real emergencies. Feeling lightheaded after standing quickly is common. Sudden dizziness while seated is not. Forgetting a name is normal. Being unable to form a sentence is not. These distinctions are subtle, but understanding them saves lives. Now let's talk about the response itself. This is the approach that was used, the one supported by medical reasoning, and the one that can protect brain function. It's based on gravity-assisted circulation and controlled respiration. When a stroke is suspected, the priority is not movement, it's circulation, helping blood reach the brain with less resistance. Here's what to do immediately. First, stay as calm as possible. Panic constricts blood vessels and reduces oxygen delivery. As soon as symptoms appear, prioritize safety. Sit or lie down to prevent falling. If possible, lie flat on your back. Then elevate your legs roughly a foot using pillows or a stable surface. This position reduces gravitational pull against blood returning to the heart and brain. You're not forcing circulation, you're allowing it. Next comes breathing. Slow, deliberate breathing is essential. Inhale through the nose for about 4 seconds. Hold briefly. Then exhale through the mouth for around 6 seconds. This pattern increases oxygen exchange and stabilizes the nervous system. It also helps regulate blood pressure during a critical moment. Together, positioning and breathing help maintain cerebral perfusion until medical help arrives. Clinical observations have shown that patients who adopt this approach during early ischemic events often experience better short-term outcomes. It does not reverse a stroke. It does not replace emergency treatment, but it preserves time. And in neurology, time protects tissue. Imagine how this feels in the moment: fear, confusion, loss of control. Having a clear action reduces panic. Panic worsens oxygen deprivation. Calm breathing preserves clarity. Those controlled breaths help you stay still, communicate if possible, and avoid unnecessary movement. So remember this clearly. When warning signs appear, do not pace, do not test strength, do not wait. Get low, elevate the legs, control breathing, let gravity assist circulation. Now let's talk about recovery, because there is real hope. The brain has an extraordinary ability to adapt. Even after damage, it can reroute function through other pathways. This adaptability continues well into later life. Recovery depends on stimulation and consistency, not force. Early support matters: gentle movement, repeated breathing exercises, proper nutrition. These signals tell the brain to rebuild. Research shows that slow, rhythmic activity, even seated movement, significantly improves balance and cognitive recovery in older adults. Recovery doesn't require advanced equipment. It can begin at home. Small, deliberate actions practiced daily create powerful neurological signals. Consistency matters more than intensity. Nutrition also plays a key role. Circulation, inflammation, and vessel health are directly influenced by diet. Foods that support flexible arteries and healthy blood flow also support brain repair. Studies consistently show lower recurrence rates among seniors who follow circulation-supportive eating patterns. Now let's shift to prevention. For those who have never experienced a stroke, the foundation is circulation. Healthy blood flow protects the brain silently over time. One of the most effective habits is gentle activation shortly after waking. A simple routine helps: sitting before standing, deep breathing, light leg movement to activate circulation, gentle shoulder and neck motion. These small actions reduce morning blood pressure spikes and improve cerebral blood flow. Hydration enhances the effect. Long-term studies show that seniors who practice daily circulation routines maintain better memory and balance. Health is built through repetition, not emergency response. Sleep, emotional regulation, and stress management are equally important. Chronic stress damages vessels. Calm, connection, and positive emotion support vascular flexibility. Even simple pleasures contribute to nitric oxide production, which keeps arteries responsive. This brings us back to the beginning. When symptoms appeared, the response was immediate and calm. The body was positioned correctly. Breathing was controlled. By the time help arrived, function had already begun returning. Preparation made the difference. This isn't about fear, it's about readiness. Readiness creates confidence. It protects independence. Aging is not helplessness, it's awareness. Remember this simple principle: when circulation is threatened, reduce resistance. Lie down, elevate the legs, slow the breath, let the body work with gravity, not against it. Health isn't about avoiding every crisis. It's about knowing how to respond when one appears. Share this knowledge, practice it, make it familiar, because when seconds matter, instinct will guide action. Stay calm, stay prepared, and remember, your body gives you a chance. You just need to know how to use it.